Hi there. Today's class will be 30 minutes for beginners. So we won't use many props, but we'll have 2 blocks. And then at the end, we'll go into shoulder stand. So if you can have either 2 shoulder stand pads or 3 blankets and 1 strap. If you don't have that available and you have the blocks, then I can take you to an alternative pose as well. Okay, we're going to start first by standing up. Before we start our practice, I wanted to let you know about my online programs and workshops. Whether you're new to Iyengar yoga and want to learn the basics in a systematic way, a seasoned practitioner looking to revisit the essentials, or a yoga teacher seeking inspiration. These programs and workshops are self-paced, allowing you to make consistent progress and revisit specific topics whenever you like. You can find the link in the description below. With that said, let's begin our practice today. You'll take your 2 blocks, bring the blocks to the back of your mat, and then stand back in Tadasana. So inner edges of the feet together, straighten the legs completely. Be aware of the weight on the front of the foot and the back of the foot, inner heel and outer heel. So as we stand in Tadasana, move the shoulders down through the fingertips, but keep the lift of the chest. Keep the lift of the armpit chest, lifting up, descending through the back of the armpit area. So the shoulder blades are moving down. Thighs are moving back, buttock and tailbone moving forward. Feel that firmness of the outer legs. Hold the outer thighs in toward the center. Come back to your breath. And we're going to jump our feet apart. So you take your hands up high, and when we jump, we'll jump the arms up. Okay, so jump our feet apart. 4.5, 5 feet apart. Inhale, exhale, jump the feet apart. So when the feet are apart, you want the toes facing forward. Utthita Parsvakonasana. Padasana is foot, pada is foot. So be on the front of the foot, the back of the foot, inner side of the foot, and outer side of the foot. So standing equally so you can feel that connection to your legs. Lengthen up through the arms. Divide the hands from the center of the upper back, lengthening through each finger. You can look and extend. Make sure the arms are not dropping, but lift the shoulders up. And then turning the right leg out. Turn the left heel back so you make a little bit more space. Keep both legs straight. Turn that back hand back so the chest turns to face me, toward the camera. And to bring your right arm up, left hand on your hip, and establish length from this whole right side of the body. Keep the knee lifting up so the thigh is active. Back thighs moving back, front thighs externally rotating, buttock moving forward. Now stay in the back foot. Inhale, exhale, lengthen over this front leg, extending. Look past your fingertips, extend. Bring your hand just onto your shin bone. Press your hand down, and from there, move the chest away from the floor. Turn the chest. So as you look forward, drop the shoulders, and then reach the arm up. Press the bottom hand, lift up, broaden through the chest, extend right up through the fingertips. Bring the bottom shoulder blade forward, turn the top chest, and look up. So observe the weight on your feet, keep the weight even. Lift the inner back thigh and press the outer edge of the back foot down onto the floor. To come up, you're going to come back up, extend the arms, turn the front foot, toes again facing forward, lengthen out through the arms. Do the other side now. So turn, pivot on this left leg, externally rotating, thigh moving back, and then lift the arm up, bring one hand onto the hip. As you begin to go laterally over this front leg, Keep the extension through the back, outer foot, pressing into the floor. Lift of the inner back thigh. Reach, look and see where your fingers are going, lengthening over the front leg. Maintaining that extension through the side trunk. Bring your hand down. Press the hand down. Turn the chest. As you press down, lift the chest up away from the floor. And come back to the feet. Observe the weight in the back foot, the front foot. Lift up through both knees. Bring the left buttock forward and turn the right chest. Bring the arm up, look up. Extend right up through the fingertips. So from the bottom hand, pressing down, broaden through the back, broaden through the chest, and reach up. Turn and look up. Preparing to come up, come back to the feet. Bring the hand onto the hip. Extend that arm up. Turn the feet. Jump the feet together. So come back to Tadasana. So depending on your breath, just observe that breath. Let the breath soften, relax. Release the shoulders down. Keep the front armpit chest lifted. Okay, now we're going to do that again. This time you're going to take your block. You can have a couple different heights, but given this is beginner's class, I'm going to assume that you're going to need the higher height. Okay, so you're going to, again, jump the feet apart. Inhale, exhale. If there's any difficulty with your knees, then you just walk your feet apart. All right, externally rotating this right leg, pivot, turning, and then bring that back heel back a little bit further. Extend. Let's keep both arms long this time. And as you come down, stay in that back foot, that back leg, adjust your block, bring your hand onto the block, and then as you press down, lift up, turn the chest, bring that right buttock forward, opening through the left pelvis. Feel the weight on the back foot as you press. Inhale, exhale, turn, and look up. If you're getting any compression in the neck, then just look forward. Equalize the weight on both sides, front of the foot, back of the foot. Lift up through the arches. Ready to come up. Inhale, lift the arm, turn the feet, extend the arms out, turning the other leg. So when you turn that leg, tendency to turn that hip. So keep this hip open, staying to the outer edge of the foot. Keep the inner back thigh lifted. And as you turn here, that buttock needs to come forward. Extend the arms, straighten the legs. Inhale, exhale, coming down. Find your block. Press the hand down. Now remember when we were lengthening through the side trunk. So keep that length. Lift from that left waist to the left armpit chest. Press the hand down, turn, and either look forward or look up at your hand. Keep the top shoulder moving away from the back of the neck. Keep the legs firm, buttocks moving in, thigh moving back, legs are straight. Inhale, come up, turn your feet. And because your blocks are there, let's walk the feet in, come back to Tadasana. Standing in Tadasana. Bring your arms out. Rotate the arms from the inner arm to the outer arm. Extend from the center of the back, middle of the back, right through the fingertips. We're going to bring our arms straight up, Urdhva Hastasana. So as you press evenly into the feet, lift up through the legs, front thighs back, buttock forward, tailbone forward. Lift your lower back, lift your middle back, lift your upper back. Extend up from the outer arms right up through the fingertips. Breathe. And then bring the hands down. And then bring the hands to the chest. Jump or walk the feet apart. Now I'm going to take the feet a little bit wider this time, externally rotating the right leg. Turn that left heel out. We're going to come into a bent knee position. So as you bend the knee, just allow that front groin to lengthen to the knee, outer knee moving back, so you keep that connection of the femur bone. So you're not moving this way, the knee past the ankle. So stay grounded in the back leg, back foot, outer edge of the back foot down, lift up through the arch. Keep the inner back thigh lifted, so not sinking down. So there's a little resistance there. Drop your hip, drop the tailbone, look over your front hand. Bring your left hand onto the hip and lift up like we did Utthita Trikonasana before. Drop your hip and then extend and lengthen. Bring your hand down onto the block. So this shin bone is a break. So moving the shin bone back as you lengthen over the leg, press the hand down, turn the chest away from the floor. Utthita Parsvakonasana. Parsva is to the side, lift the arm up, and now we're going to rotate the arm over the head. So looking forward, keep that lift, that length all the way from the back foot, and then as you press into the bottom hand, turn and look up underneath your arm. Back leg moving back, front leg buttock moving forward, turn the chest. Breathe. Inhale, come up. Turn the feet, bring your hands onto your hips. Preparing to go to the other side, so you're going to turn the left leg, getting that external rotation like you did in Utthita Trikonasana, and then bend the knee. As you bend the knee, drop that hip. You want the knee over the ankle, and the knee is tracking over the middle of the foot, second, third toe, and drop the hip. Stay in this back leg so that the trunk stays right between the two legs. Virabhadrasana II, looking over your fingertips. Breathe. And then bring the right hand on the hip. Lift up and lengthen. Extend over. Shin is the break, so it's moving back. Femur bone is moving back. And then bring your hand onto the block. Press the hand down. And turn the chest away from the floor. Keep that left buttock moving forward, right thigh moving back, press down, and then I'll show you another way that you can bring the arm up. If that was difficult to bring the arm up this way, bring the arm straight out, parallel to the floor, and then swing the arm over the head, turn the chest, open that armpit chest. Turn and look up, or look ahead. Keep the neck long. So if you're turning the head, the neck is still lengthening on each side. If you're dropping the head, then just look forward. Inhale, come up, turn the feet, jump the feet in. Stand in Tadasana. Now you're going to take your blocks back and stand back in Tadasana. We're going to jump our feet apart again, and we're going to turn toward the right. So the whole body will turn. Inhale, exhale, jump the feet, externally rotate that front leg, and then turn. Let's take our hands on our hips, turn the back foot, press the heel down, turn the chest to face over your front leg. Bring your arms out to the side. Bring the arms up. And just lengthen over the front leg. Press into the back heel. Extend that back thigh. Reach over the front leg. Staying with your balance. Stay with your breath. Inhale, come up. Turn your feet. And then we do the other side. So turning, hands on your hips. Turn that back hip. Press the heel. So as you press that heel, this hip is turning forward. Whereas the last two poses, your hip bones were facing forward toward the camera. Now you're facing to the side wall. Bring that buttock in, tailbone in, and bring the arms up. As you bring the arms up, drop the buttock, lift the lower back, reach up to the middle back, and then begin to hinge forward. Stay with the weight in the back foot. Back leg straight, just lengthening, extend. Both sides of the trunk extending right through the fingertips. And then press into the feet, keep the legs straight. Inhale, come up, turn the feet, jump the feet together. Come back to Tadasana. Again, if you have any problems with the knees, just walk the feet together. All right, this next time that we do this, let's have some blocks at the front of the mat. You can take the higher height. And because we have the block there, from Tadasana, we're going to step our feet apart. So take a nice wide stride, turning that front right foot, turn the back heel, turn the hips, so the whole back body, the front body, facing toward the wall. And then bring your arms up and begin to go forward like you did earlier. This time we're going to bring our hands onto the blocks, so extend and lengthen. Bring your hands down onto the blocks, press the hands down, lengthen the side trunk, move the chest forward. Keep anchored in the back heel. As you press into the back heel, turn that left hip forward, or the right hip forward, left hip back. Coming back to the foot, the leg, reach the arms up, inhale, and come up. Take your blocks to the other side. Parsvottanasana. So it's a side stretch. Okay, and then turning that front foot, turning the back heel, pivoting, outer hip moving forward, front thigh moving back, thumbs right at the tailbone, lift the chest as you descend the top of the buttocks down, pressurize the feet equally, bring the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then as you press into that back foot, keep the back leg straight. Feel the shift of weight to the front foot, front leg, extending. Bring your hands onto the blocks. Press the hands down, lift the chest. So bringing the back into a concave back position so you can feel the back ribs moving in, front body lengthening, look forward. Observe the weight on your feet. Pressurize that back heel, the front of the front foot. And as you press the feet into the floor, lift up through the knees, lift up through the thighs. As the hips move back, move the pelvis forward. And then come back to the feet, back to the legs, lift up, raise your arms, turn your feet, and then come back to Tadasana. Okay, taking your blocks, just move your feet to the back edge of the mat. Prasarita Padottanasana, so you're getting a wide distance with both feet. You may or may not need the blocks, so you can have them handy. So you're going to hinge forward from this front thigh. So if you put your hands there, you can feel the depth. The groin is moving back, side trunk is lengthening. You're extending your arms forward. So we'll do that from that lifted position. Okay? So when you move back, your hips don't move back so much. They move back a little bit, but you want to stay on the feet equally so that the thighs move back, but the pelvis moves forward. Okay, Urdhva Hastasana, raise your arms. Exhale. Aware of the weight in your feet, front foot, back foot. Extend the arms. Bring the fingertips onto the floor. If they don't reach, then take the hands onto the block. Concave the back. Move the thighs back, frontal thighs back. Move the pelvis forward and lengthen. If you have your fingertips on the floor, press into the fingertips. Keep the arms straight. And then walk your hands back a little bit more, or walk your blocks back a little bit more. Pelvis moving forward, thighs moving back. Now bend the elbows and allow the head to release down any amount. You can be on the hands at this point, hands on the blocks or hands on the mat. Crown of the head facing the floor. If the head doesn't go to the floor, then just have the crown of the head facing the floor. Press the hands down, lift the shoulders up away from the floor, and keep the elbows parallel to one another. So there's a firmness on the outer arms, shoulders feeling more compact. Observe the weight on your feet, front of the foot, heel. As you move the thighs back, move the pelvis forward. Be there with your breath. Draw the navel up toward the lower back. Broaden the lower back. Broaden across the sacrum. And then come up, straighten the arms. Walk the hands forward. Lengthen one more time. Either stay with your hands on the floor. If you're able to, take your hands on your ankles. One more time, concave the back. Move the thighs back. Move the pelvis forward, look forward, and then bend the elbows. Holding on to the ankles, lift the elbows up, and release the head down. As you hold the ankles, lift the shoulders up. Crown of the head facing the floor. Inner thighs toward the outer thighs. Be on the outer edge of the foot. And then inhale, come up. Bring your hands back onto the floor. Hands onto your hips. Inhale, come up. Okay. To come out of this one, legs are a little bit wider, so heels in, toes in, and then bring the feet together and stand back in Tadasana. Okay, now take your feet hips width apart. We're going to come into Uttanasana. So you'll come down hinging forward like we did in Parsvottanasana. So you're hinging here, the feet are hips width apart. Take your hands along the floor or onto the blocks. Walk the hands forward and then release your head between the arms. Let the upper back first move in. So the back ribs move in, look forward. Concave back position, thighs back, pelvis forward. And then bring your head between your arms and hold on to your elbows. Come into resting Uttanasana, holding the elbows. Draw the elbows down toward the floor. And as you do that, feel the middle back, upper back releasing downward. Aware of the weight on the feet, front of the foot, back of the foot. Lift up through the arches, lift up through the knees. Lift up through the backs of the thighs. Release the head. And then bring the hands back onto the floor. Hands on your hips. Inhale, come up. Okay, we're going to sit on the floor now, Dandasana. And you'll take a blanket. So if you have a blanket there, just sit on your blanket. Not too far, just on your sitting bones. So you don't want the whole thigh on the blanket, and you want to be back far enough that when you stretch your legs out, we're coming into Upavistha Konasana, you stretch your legs out, and you can see the distance, the legs. So be extending the legs equidistant. Take the hands back underneath the buttocks flesh and move the buttocks flesh back. So you're sitting right on your sitting bones. And then bring your fingertips onto the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Press the fingers down. Move the thighs down. If you need to If you're leaning back at all, take the blocks behind you, press the hands down, and lift the chest. Stay with your breath. All right, now you're going to take your legs, bend the knees, bring the feet into Baddha Konasana. So the inner leg is moving out, outer leg is moving back. Take your feet in. If you're falling back, if your lower back is falling back, you can use 2 blankets. So I'll just show that way. So sitting up, you can also go to the wall. So bring your feet in, pressing the feet together. Have the blocks there. You're on a little bit more height, so use your hands behind you. Press the feet, lengthen the inner leg from the outer knee. Have a sense that you're drawing back. Pressing the feet, lift the chest, breathe. So again, we're making some space in the pelvis, opening through the pelvic area. Thighs are descending, chest is lifting. And then release. And then extend your legs out, Upavistha. You can keep your hands on the blocks or on the blankets. So take the position that you need for your hands so that you're not falling back, that you're on the backs of the thighs and your lower back, your sacral band is widening, your lower back is lifting up towards your chest. So you don't have that feeling you're falling back. Use the fingertips, use the arms to keep your spinal column right in the center, lifting right up through the crown of the head where you were earlier in Prasarita Padottanasana. Quiet breath. All right, and then release. Okay, we're going to come into shoulder stand. We're running a little bit over, but for those of you that have some setup for shoulder stand, you'll bring your blocks or your blankets. Head is facing the wall, stacking the blankets up one over the other so that there's a firmness here. The shoulders are going to go here. The head will be on the floor. And you're going to take the mat back. So the shoulders will be here. Okay, so here I've got the blankets and the pads, and I have the mat coming over. So you can sit right in the middle of your pad and see that your legs go to the wall. So we'll come into Halasana first, which will be bringing the legs over to the wall. So you'll turn around, coming down. If you're just beginning, and it's going to be difficult for you to lift your legs up and over, have a bolster underneath your hips. So I'm going to take my hands down and raise the legs up. And from there, I'm going to then press the hands down, lift up, take my legs over to the wall. Okay, now I'm going to take the hands behind me, roll the shoulders under. So there's that firmness. The shoulders are moving down, arms moving down. Bend your elbows, press your upper arm down, lift your chest, keep the thighs lifting up, keep the legs firm. So press feet into the wall. As you lift the kneecaps, keep the action through the legs as you lift up. And then turn the fingers and bring the fingers in toward the spine. Have the whole hand on the back. Lift the chest. Now we're going to bring one leg up, Eka Pada. So have the foot and the shin and the knee and the thigh lifting up in line with your hip. Outer thigh of the opposite leg, the foot that's on the wall, lift that outer hip up. Walk your hands down your back. Bring the leg back over. Press both feet into the wall. Press the hands toward the back, lift the chest, and then bring that leg up. Press into the mounds of the toes. Press up as if you were pressing that foot into the ceiling. Keep this outer thigh lifted up. So it's difficult to know, are you here, are you here? Press up, bring the leg back a little bit so you can feel that there's more alignment there. Keep the lift of the chest. And then bring your leg back to Halasana. So we'll keep both feet at the wall. For those of you that can go a little bit deeper, you can start to walk your feet down. If you've been practicing a little bit more. Otherwise, keep the feet up. Walk the hands down the back. Keep the outer hips lifted, the thighs lifting up. You can take your hands behind you. And again, adjust your shoulders, press your arms down, hands on the back. Stay there a few more breaths. Let your face soften, relax your throat. Keep tightening the knees and moving them up toward the ceiling. Relax the breath. You're going to bend your knees now, preparing to come down. Take your hands behind you, and then as you press the fingers and the arms down, start to descend the hips and come down. Now, if you came down and had to roll down, the next time have a bolster underneath your hips so you can come down slowly. All right? So now we're going to spread the mat out and take one blanket for your head. Come into Savasana. So adjust yourself on the mat so that when you stretch your legs out, both feet are on the mat. Start with your knees bent. Adjust the pelvis. Adjust the arms. So having the memory of the shoulders turning under from Sarvangasana, get that width across the chest, rotate the arms, and then one at a time, extend the legs. Be right on the center of the heel. And then let the toes roll out. So the whole inner thigh is rolling out, calf, heel. Now, if this feels a little bit too tight, too close, you can slowly walk the feet away a bit. And then release the arms down. Let the toes relax, the foot relax. Relax the shoulders as you exhale. Feel the backs of the arms on the floor, feeling the hands, the fingers curling, bringing some softness to the whole hand, up into the arm, into the chest. And then observe your abdominal area. Let that soften as you exhale. So we often grip in the abdomen. There's tightness in the abdomen. There's tightness in the throat. You're just aware of where you feel any kind of tightness or gripping, and just with the breath, let that exhale. So as you come into Savasana, you can begin to let go everywhere. And as we go into Savasana, we become aware of different areas of our body that there's some tightness or there's some pain or tension. So just with the breath, release. So we'll stay here in Savasana for about 5 minutes. You can stay longer if you'd like. So after you've made your adjustments, just be content with the adjustments you've made. If you notice any imbalance, you can work more through your practice to start to modify those imbalances. But for Savasana, just allow yourself to be. And we'll see you next time. Namaste.